Welcome to yet another episode of Master Vinny MC Does Crazy Shit on Minecraft. That's not my intro. Welcome back. Hi. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm in creative. You guys have seen creative from other people, but not from me, at least as far as I remember. As fragile as my poor memory is. Uh, yeah. So, I'm back at school, and that's why you guys haven't seen much from me. So, yeah, very sorry about that, but you know what? Uh, at the end of the day, sometimes real life comes first, and you gotta put down the toys and the blocks and the Minecraft, and it's sad. Minecraft for me is my creative outlet, and which is actually why I'm in creative lately, is because when I have very little time to play, um, I tend to fall back on playing creative. It tends to be what I do. Mostly because I still get to build cool things and I still get to play around with stuff like this. I've been trying to design a logo for myself, and obviously, like, these materials are not something I necessarily want to farm in a survival world. But I want the logo to kind of look luxurious. So here, I get to just place willy nilly, like all these, what would be silk touch diamond blocks to kind of see if I can get a big M and a V or something worked in for Master Vinny. So yeah, well, that's homework. Back at school we're doing homework. That's kind of the theme today. This is kind of my new introduction for you guys, or maybe explanation to what's going to be going on here in a little bit. I want to talk briefly about the Square Puncher server. Uh, what's going on with the Square Puncher server right now is it's in kind of a period of transition, and I'm down with that. They finally got the new server up and going, but they were talking about maybe passing the torch of who runs it off to somebody else, you know what I mean? Um, and that has a lot to do with the fact that, again, sometimes at the end of the day, you know, IRL or, real life stuff takes precedence over what you're doing. For a lot of us where Minecraft is kind of a hobby, that can be an unfortunate decision that maybe sometimes you have to make. And yeah, it's kind of sad, but you gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day. And I'm doing what I gotta do, and I'm glad to be back here with you guys today. So Square Puncher's going through a period of transition. I'm going through a period of transition, but the good news is we're coming out of the worst of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we're doing some good things. And along with my actual studies here at school and homework for that, I've been doing a lot of homework in Minecraft. I've been paying a lot of attention to the updates that I think we're going to be getting here in the future and how those are going to affect some of the things that I want to do. And I've been actually very excited to start something kind of a little new on my channel here. You guys have seen some videos from me on the Square Puncher server, as well as videos caving. I've got to complete the monument map that's making slow but steady progress with videos of that. Will be coming out. Had a lot of fun with that. And you guys have seen the first videos I ever put up was from me just kind of building in my empire. And I'm still very much interested, kind of being a history major and, empire formation and, just kind of how, rulers come to pass and come to go. And it's just something that I'm personally very interested in, and I think it'll definitely continue to be of interest to me in the future. So, yeah. There's another quick build I want to show you guys, but while I got you here, I wanted to show you. There's a reason I'm in this seed here today, and that is because I'm doing some homework on different builds I want to do in the seed. I had a friend of mine. I was talking to a friend of mine here at school, and I'm like, hey, I want to build in a mountain biome because I got a really kind of some ideas that would lend itself. I've got my mountains. I like my mountains, and of course I've got this big lake over here, and it goes out into some other ocean. So I'm doing my homework on this seed. It's very important. I don't want to just choose anything by random. I've got a very clear kind of cut idea of what I want to build and what my build style I want to be for this map. So I'm going through with some glowstone and just kind of highlighting some natural formations in the mountain that I may later on want to kind of use. I haven't flown too far, so like I don't know where any natural resources are. I wanted to make sure that if I rolled this seed, that if I spawned like right about here roughly, that if I did actually start on the seed, that it would be a good mountain range for us to build on. So again, I just kind of played around here a little bit, and I've kind of decided that this is a good spot. I like this seed a lot. We are in mountain biomes. One of the things I was very concerned about is how quickly I could actually get to a tree, because I've spawned in mountain biomes, especially if you turn on large mountain biomes. I've spawned miles away from a tree, and you know that's the first resource you got to gather before you can really do anything else. So, yeah. So I've done my homework. This will look familiar. I will be spawning here, and we will begin our project. Our probably I wouldn't call it a season 2.0 because I've never had a traditional Let's Play, but I don't necessarily want to call it a Let's Play. I would, you know, I would rather call it, you know, a Let's Build, because it's got to focus much more on building things. We will be taking great advantage of the recent redstone updates and other patches and additions to the game, but our main focus is definitely going to be building, and it's going to be building with kind of an attention to the natural mountain landscape and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's kind of pretty much the update. There's one more thing I want to show you guys, so I'm going to cut away to that. So it's going to be a sneak peek, or maybe a refresher for some of you, at what my build style I want to look like here. So this is the spot I'm going to build. I've officially decided that, and I'm going to show you guys what it is that we're going to be building here in the mountains. So this is pretty much what I would like to be building in the mountains, or at least the build style that I would like to be using in our new mountain map. I would like to build more of what I had here. For anybody who doesn't know, on the original Square Puncher server, this is my spawn house, and Icarus put the map up for download a little while ago. This was a pure vanilla server, but I just basically threw on cheats when I downloaded the map so I could fly around and just kind of give you guys an aerial view. I don't personally intend on doing much more with this map than using it as a reference for some things in the future. I kind of wanted to give you guys a quick outline of some of the elements that I would be using from here. Number one is the walls. To make the lip around the walls is just kind of like upside down stairs combined with half slabs. And then a pattern I've become very fond of is recessing these cobblestone walls into walls that are multiple layers thick, so I can hide things like glowstone for lighting, or just have multiple textures and so on and so forth. So those walls, in addition with some modern elements, the floor plan in here is very modern, kind of tall open ceilings, the second floor not always being the same shape or floor plan or layout as other floors, kind of using the top of the wall here is kind of living space as well. So kind of think about a situation, or an architectural situation where you've actually taken kind of maybe a medieval castle and you have turned it into a modern home. That is the elements that I think that I would be working with here. And of course, I really like this. Of course, I just broke it because I'm in creative and I always forget that I can't tap on things. Go ahead and fix it, just in case you want to come back to it later. But I love the fact that this staircase was kind of so open to the rest of the room. And just like little things like that. And of course, this staircase was very modern, right? You know, it's open and you can see it through here, through everything else. But architecturally on the outside, it's kind of this standalone tower, and I can carry around this this kind of tower precipice sort of lip around the outside edge of it. And you know, the dark wood, I think, is a resource that I want to build with a lot. I used it to great effect here, and I think that I will continue to want to use that in the future. And separately from the rest of the house up here, just kind of a little bedroom area that this was going to be, and there's kind of continuing the stone elements up here, up into the roof. My only maybe critique of this was the roof, really. Roofs aren't something that I'm necessarily very good at. I made this an even number across, and I've heard tale that doing odd numbers for the width of a room, and therefore an odd number for the roof, can make the roof come to maybe a little bit more of an appealing architectural top. So I will be trying that for future builds. There's always more to learn. I don't just want to copy this building per se. I just kind of want to use some of the elements from it, maybe even some of the color schemes. I really like kind of using the stone and the dark wood and the lighter wood. And yeah, maybe once we get one or two built, we can kind of mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead here real quick, and I'm going to take these graphics, if I can find them real quick, video settings, there we go, and I'll put it on fast. Before, you could see through the leaves, and therefore you could see the pumpkins that were hidden under here in lighting. I wanted to just kind of show this. I also liked a whole heck of a lot. I just got a pair of shears and cut down a lot of leaves. I really like this kind of every other color leaf pattern around here, and the vegetation that I was able to incorporate around the edge of the buildings. I think water is going to be very important, so I will be making all sorts of moats and canals and just kind of streams, and we'll have to find a swamp. So very early on, I think there will be some resources that we want to gather just for building. It's definitely going to be very building oriented. You won't see me gathering resources unless I'm going to turn around and probably use those resources in a building project. So our first swamp will be very important for us to find. Our first source of dark wood will be very important for us to find. And of course, mining will be very important because we will be using a lot of stone and a lot of smooth stone and just kind of resources there. Also, with the big windows, we'll want to make sure that we secure a steady supply of sand. Yeah. So, but these things will come with time, and this is definitely the building style that I want to go for, and I think this is probably like my favorite sort of shot of really what I want here. Multiple layers, kind of renovated, with, you know, tower elements and wall elements, and just different things that you would find in different castles. And in each one, we can combine these in new ways, and we can continue to add to them. So I look forward to doing this sort of work very much. In the future, since this episode has kind of turned into a little bit of a channel update, you guys will definitely see me on the Square Puncher server. I have some videos coming out to you there, and that will pretty much, my focus will pretty much be episodes on the Square Puncher server, episodes on my single player, building modern castles in the mountains, and will also focus on complete the monument maps, because I've recently become very addicted to those, and we may even see some of my friends here at school joining us, or possibly some other YouTubers. So look forward to those three things. That's what you guys will see out of me for the rest of 2013. It's been a slow but steady start for me. Yeah, so go ahead and leave me some feedback, some comments of what you'd like to see in the bottom. Go ahead and give it a like if you would. It really helps me out. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the future.